and burn.
Hey everybody. So tonight I am looking to discuss how I absolutely love My World by Guns N' Roses. And I thought that this couldn't have been a more exciting way for them to close out the second and final Use Your Illusions. Use Your Illusion 2, which of course is my favorite Use Your Illusion. I'm actually not sure now. I think everybody likes 2 more. Well, everybody I've ever met liked 2 more. The only song they couldn't stand, and that was 100% of them, was My World. And I mean, I heard this record back when it came out. I mean, back in like 91 or so, 92, whenever it was that it was released. And I was like a diehard Guns N' Roses fan like everybody else. But by that point, I'd already gotten into Skinny Puppy, like big time. The first CD I purchased was Skinny Puppy's Cleanse, Fold, and Manipulate, which came out in like, I think, 88 or 89, and that was when I bought it. I bought it at the flagship store, Sam the Record Man's flagship store in Toronto, and I paid like 40 or 50 bucks for it too. And it was like the first CD I bought, like with 100% my own money. And the first CD I bought was, of course, it had to be Skinny Puppy, because I was terrified of them from the time I was a little kid. Their videos used to show up on Much Music, and then like they would have to, warn people if there's kids in the room, blah, 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 you have to get them out because the videos for Skinny Puppy stuff is really hard and rough and blah, blah, blah. I remember Erica M making the biggest deal about how hardcore their videos were. And then you couple that with how sort of insidious their music sounds, and how despite how the guys in Skinny Puppy were incredibly gifted songwriters, they had a knack for making things sound so completely chaotic and out of control. So I absolutely fell in love with Skinny Puppy back when I was a little kid, and that was just by chance. And so I knew a little bit about industrial by the time I was in like grade 7 or so. Not a lot, but I knew enough to kind of get this song more. Because everybody was like, this song sucks. They were like, this is like the worst fucking song I've ever heard. It has no place on a Guns N' Roses record. And I thought it was really exciting. So Fine is on the second Use Your Illusions. Locomotive's on there. Get in the Ring is on there. Estranged is on there. The alternate version of Don't Cry is on there, their version of Knocking on Heaven's Door. And I get where people are coming from when they say that the song just doesn't fit, because I couldn't agree with that aspect of it more. But it was still really exciting. The album closer was like this. It's not even, I don't even think it's 2 minutes long. I think it's like barely 1:20. And it's like, oh, my distorted smile. And it's like, you want to step into my world. It's a social psychotic state of bliss. And I was just so charged up by it, because this was like Guns N' Roses doing Skinny Puppy. And whereas this was way cleaner sounding and way more polished, all it really served to do was get me more into industrial music, because other than Skinny Puppy, I didn't really have a pipeline into any particular types of music that were outside of the mainstream, other than I had one friend whose older brother turned me on to Nirvana a little young. He gave me Bleach. And I ended up coming across Peter Sotos' Buyer's Market. Oh no, got a group of people. They're on the move. Maybe they won't walk down here. But yeah, so I was sort of limited in what I was able to get my hands on. So I didn't really know a lot about industrial. And Guns N' Roses', or particularly Axl Rose's take on industrial, was this really crisp and clean and clear sound that I thought was amazing. And like I said, all it really did was it excited me more for the world of industrial music. And I know that Axl wanted to take the band in that direction, which again, I think probably wouldn't have been the smartest move. I think maybe Guns N' Roses released an industrial EP. No, that wouldn't have worked either. But I still really liked the song, and I thought it was an awesome way to close out one of the best rock records ever made, because it's just so completely unexpected. And I love how I believe Rose. I don't think Rose was trying to signal out to industrial music, because he had his finger on the pulse, and he knew that industrial music was going to take off in the 90s like it did, by way of Fear Factory and the Nine Inch Nails and Manson. I don't think he knew that. I think Rose was just really into electronic music, and he was getting more and more into it, and he somehow managed to shoehorn this track on at the end of Use Your Illusion 2, and I know everybody hated it, but I absolutely loved it. So what do you guys think? Oh fuck, this video is way too long. I wanted this video to be like a minute. And I ended up talking about Skinny Puppy a bunch. But anyways, I'm getting out of here. So what do you guys think? Do you think I'm completely wrong? Do you think My World is a complete and utter waste of time? Do you think it's the worst song they could have closed the album out with? Do you think it's the best? Do you agree with me that, it's exciting sounding and it sort of would motivate you to go out and dig more into industrial? which of course in the early 90s wouldn't have been easy for anybody because the only real way we had to find out about things were through like Circus Magazine and Hit Parader and Kerrang and shit. And they weren't exactly pushing industrial all that much, at least not until later in the 90s when the Nine Inch Nails would blow up and everything. But yeah, I'm getting out of here. You guys are amazing. Have a good night.